Hi guys, so it's been I guess about 2 weeks now since I posted. It's just been last week was really crazy for us, and I kind of hit that, like, in your second trimester you kind of get that like burst of energy, and then in the third it just kind of goes and it's gone. It's kind of where I hit and just had a lot of things going on, so didn't really get a chance to film at all last week, nor did I really post other than I think on Monday. So I figured I would play catch up and kind of give a little bit of updating on everything that's been going on lately, and some things that I missed in the last update as well. Alright, so the first thing that I wanted to talk about was something that I missed in the last video, and I mean, it wasn't something huge, but I mean, it was something that I posted about online and then I completely forgot about. So at the end of April, me and my mom went to a conference for Down syndrome, and it was a really cool experience. They had a lot of speakers, and they had a lot of information, mostly like medically and stuff like that, but it was really informative, a lot of stuff that I didn't know. And I brought like they gave us like little notebooks or folders, not notebooks, with like a bunch of information, which was really cool. And then I brought myself a little notebook and took a bunch of notes and stuff. That way, things I had questions about or things that I like wanted to know more about, I could look up some more information later on about it. So that was just something I forgot to mention before. It was a really, really cool experience. And then this is kind of skipping ahead, but it's whatever. Last weekend my mom went to another conference. It was an autism conference, but they had like the Down syndrome organization and a bunch of other organizations there as well. And my mom actually, I wanted to go to it, but I didn't have anyone to watch my kids. So she actually stopped by the booth that they had there, and she talked to some people and gave them my information and stuff. And then I actually had someone call me yesterday from the Down syndrome association locally, and so I meet with her next week to get like books and more information and resources and stuff. So I'm kind of excited about that, because I'm always looking for more information and more things to read about things that I don't know. So yeah, that was kind of nice. So on to last week. So it started with Monday. We've been doing our fluid checks on Mondays and Thursdays, and then regular OB appointments every other Tuesday so far. So last Monday we had our fluid check, and the Thursday prior, it had kind of been going up steady, like each week, just like 24, 25, 26. From everything I've read and that I've been able to find on it, a normal pregnancy doesn't generally go above like 25, 26 on the fluid. I mean, that's just what I've found so far. So, so it was like at 26 on Thursday, and then last Monday when we went in, it had jumped to 34. So they went ahead. We weren't supposed to start our stress test until 32 weeks, but they went ahead and did it last week because it had jumped so much in just a few short days. And I mean, they didn't say anything after the stress test, so I guess, you know, everything was looking good and everything. But I was having like a lot of like cramping, not like contracting, but like cramping feelings, and it kind of like worried me a little bit because, like, you know, I have kids, so I know what a contraction feels like, and it didn't really feel like that. So I kind of like waited it out, and then on Tuesday, or no. So the other part is, well, my son, my 6-year-old Ben, he had to have a physical for school, so he stayed home with me for 3 days because I couldn't get him into the doctor till Wednesday. So he was with me that day on Monday, and then on the way back, so I'm thinking like it's gonna be this quick like 5-minute appointment. He was really good and everything, but I'm thinking it's gonna be this quick like 5-minute appointment because they always like check the fluid and it takes like no time at all. So it ended up taking longer because they did the stress test, or the non-stress test, but then on top of that, on the highway on the way back, because we actually had to drive like downtown to the hospital that I get seen at. So on the way back on the highway, I blew a tire. So that was wonderful. And that was a huge ordeal. So I got that fixed on Tuesday morning, or like, I don't know, Tuesday afternoonish. And I was really fortunate because on Monday when it happened, I drive a van, and I'm so used to like having a vehicle where the tire is like in the trunk or it's like underneath the trunk area, and it wasn't. So at first I thought I didn't have one, and then I found out it was like toward the front of the vehicle, which is really weird, and I've never seen that before. But so that was a thing. Somebody had stopped to help me, but we didn't know where the tire was, so, and couldn't find it. So I was like, okay, well, thanks for your help anyway. So I called someone. I called my uncle to get some help, and he was on his way because he lived kind of nearby, like the next exit up or whatever. So he said that he'd be on his way. Well, while I was waiting, I ended up figuring out where the tire was, so I started trying to like get it down or whatever, and 2 people actually stopped by. One was just, I don't know, a guy by himself, and the other one was a guy and his wife, and they were trying to help, but I guess the spare tire, the clamps were like rusted. So it took forever to get it off. And then 2 state trooper cars pulled up with 3 different cops in them. So it was a nice little party on the side of the highway, because then my uncle shows up, you know. So me, my son, plus all these people, it was crazy. But I was really fortunate. They did get my tire fixed. It took a little bit of time because we couldn't get the spare tire off. But I was really fortunate and grateful that it did get fixed and taken care of, and that people like stopped. It was really nice of them. So anyway, so Tuesday we got that fixed, and then I don't think anything. Oh, so I didn't have another appointment on Tuesday, but Tuesday night I ended up going down to the emergency room. I called my doctor during the day to tell them that I was still having that cramping, and they were just telling me various different things, like drink water, try taking a shower, lay on your left side, things like that that are like common. So they said, you know, call back if like none of this is helping. So I tried, you know, most of the things that they were telling me, I was trying them and it wasn't really helping. But it wasn't getting like a whole lot worse or anything. So then my daughter got home and from school, and I kind of just like stuck it out because we were like busy, you know, dealing with like homework and dinner and different things like that. So it wasn't till after they were like in bed and everything that I was kind of like, okay, well, let me call back. So I called and they told me to go ahead and come in, and I went in, and I mean, they basically put me on a monitor for a while, but he's an active little guy, so she kept having to like, for a while there, she had to just sit there and hold the monitor on him, and then he just kept wiggling around all the time. So it took us a while to do that, and then they just had me like drink some water and, you know, basically said like go home and, you know, talk to your doctor if anything gets worse or, you know, you have any other weird symptoms. So so I got home really late then, and then my son went to the doctor on Wednesday, and I think that's pretty much it. I feel like I'm missing something, like there was something else that went on last week, but so it was just like snowball kind of effect. So Wednesday I was really tired because I'd been at the hospital all night, and but then we had, you know, things to do and stuff. So we got all that taken care of, and Thursday, I think Thursday and Friday were pretty much, you know, like normal or whatever. The weekend wasn't too crazy. All right, so on to this week. We've had 3 appointments this week, and we have 1 more to go tomorrow. So Monday we had to go to the Children's Hospital to have a follow-up fetal echocardiogram to check out his heart and just make sure everything was still doing good. That went well. They said that there were no changes or anything like that, so that's good news. So we're still looking at surgery at 4 to 6 months, and then they'll check him out and stuff after he's born just to make sure that, you know, the echocardiograms are the same as what they're seeing at birth and everything. So so we did that first, and then the next was I had a fluid check and a stress test. So those were done, and they said the fluid was at 30. So I guess it's just been kind of fluctuating back and forth, up, down, but 30 is still high. So I had my stress test and that went fine. And then Tuesday we had a regular doctor's appointment and everything seemed okay with that as well. Nothing really new, I guess, with that. Pretty much just we'll see you in a couple weeks, and that's that. Oh, they did say that they're ordering biophysical profiles to add onto our already busy schedules. So on top of having the stress test and the fluid checks every Monday and Thursday, we're also going to have biophysical profiles on those days as well, and it'll all just be moved into one appointment. So the biophysical profile basically, as far as I know, it just checks his like his size and his measurements and stuff like that, does check like fluid around him and checks for things like that he's practicing like breathing and swallowing and things like that. And on Monday when we did the fluid check, she did show me, it was really cool to see, you could actually see that he was practicing the breathing, so that was kind of neat to see. So that pretty much brings us up to current, as far as those updates and general things like that. Nothing else to really report. We are 32 weeks now, so we're almost there. Just general, all the extra fluid makes me feel like, she even said it was like measuring a couple weeks ahead because the extra fluid and stuff, but it's just been uncomfortable. It makes me feel like I'm further along than I am because I'm like bigger. It's hard to like get comfortable and things like that and stay in one position for a long period of time, but we're trooping through. So I guess that's it for updates and everything, and I'll see you guys next time.